Morning, Katie and Hilary. Just setting up, just trying to get my morning, Becca. Just trying to get my iPad to catch up with my phone. Just setting up, just trying to get my morning, Becca. Just trying to get my iPad to catch up with my phone. Oh, that's a shame, Katie. Mind you, it's a lovely day to go out, isn't it? I'll just give it a couple of minutes. Let everybody join me. I've got 3 people. Wiggly fingers. Yeah, I've got wiggly penguin fingers, Becca. It's just to make sure my iPad and my iPhone are all syncing. Yeah, I've got wiggly penguin fingers, Becca. Just to make sure my iPad and my iPhone are all syncing. Right, I've got 6 people now. I think I'm expecting 8. Right, I've got 6 people yeah, now. Sorry. Sound off on my iPad. I'm expecting 8. Sorry, people. That's it. Always a rookie accident. Thank you, Katie. So I've turned the sound off on that. Right, I'm going to start. I've got 6 people. I think it's 7, so hopefully the last person will join us in a few minutes. So sorry, I've banged the screen. To start with, we're going to start off with the envelope case, which you can put cards in. It's magnetic closure, and it's got room inside, and you probably get 5 cards, I should think, depending on their thickness, and it closes with a magnet. So while I'm getting my stuff out and talking to you, in your pack you'll have 2 what are called earth magnets. These little things, I've stuck them on a bit of card, and I know when I stuck stuff to card before, you struggle to get it off the card. So if you get those out first, get the sellotape off, and then put these magnets either in a little bowl next to you, or on something magnetic, and you know where they are, because they are super, super magnetic. And when I was doing the kits, I had a whole pack of these, and I lost them. They just disappeared because they sucked themselves onto something magnetic, and I had to buy some more. I did eventually find them. So be really careful not to lose these, because they're tiny, and once they're lost, well, you won't have them for your projects. So either in a little bowl or on something magnetic, as long as you know where they are. But I take them off the sellotape so that you don't get held up when we start. Right. And I have another box, same design, different papers. This is a snail mail paper. I mean, you can decorate it as much as you want or as little as you want. I put a little heart there just over the closure. It's nice and wide, as I said. And the lovely thing about this is it does recycling. You can see inside, oh, there's actually an envelope in that one. I've got writing. Well, this board comes from the backing paper on DSP. So it's a lovely job of recycling. This is lovely thick card, so it makes a good inside. Put that back. Right, so we'll start on the box. So in your pack, you should have a piece of white card, which I've scored for you. And you should see my desk. I've lost my papers, my score already. Morning, Leslie. You have an echo. Oh, I hope I haven't got an echo anymore. Is that really distracting? Because I don't know what I can do about an echo. Maybe it's my alter ego. Right, you want to fold along the score lines. So you're going to have the writing on the inside. So fold the score lines in. And then use your bone folder or your finger if you haven't got a bone folder. Make a really good crease. Really good crease on here. Oh, I've got something dirty on there. Then do the same to the other side. And the 2 central lines. Right, I'll give you a chance to catch up. Morning, Lynn. Morning, Anne. Sounds okay to Anne. That's good. Sound is fine here. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for all telling me. Right. I give Anne a chance to catch up. Can you let me know when you've folded your paper so that I have a card so that I can move on? Don't want to go too fast. Beautiful morning today. I don't know what you're all doing. When I finish teaching, I should be off in my hot tub trying to get rid of my bad back. Not that it ever's going to go away. Folded. Right, Anne's folded. I'm going to carry on then. So what you're going to do is you're going to use scissors. Get that off there. And you're going to cut up these two lines here. So cut to this first line. So cutting up here. Like this. Oh, come on, scissors. Got so much glue on these scissors, they need cleaning. Up to this line. And do the same on the other side, so it's a mirror image. That line. You're all eating your chocolate. And then I'm going to change scissors because they were, you want to taper off a little bit. So start, not too much, start in a little bit from the edge and then just taper it up in a triangle to a point. So you're just going up to a point like that. That makes it, you see how small that is? So just a little bit off each side. That just makes the box fold a little bit neater. So that bit off there. That bit off there. So you've done exactly the same to both sides. It's a complete mirror image. So you've got tapered sides there and tapered sides there. Right, the secret of this box is if you fold these little tabs onto the outside of your box, you see I've folded the side up and put the these cut bits to the outside. Then when you put this side over, it will sandwich it between and it will make a much neater finish inside, and your envelopes won't get stuck when you try and get them in. Okay, I hope you can see that and understand what I mean. So I'm going to use liquid glue. You can use any glue that you want. You could use tear and tape if you want. So I'm going to put glue here. Come on, glue, in your own time. And here. So I put it on both tabs. Bring it up and try and keep it as square as you can. So use the table or your desk or whatever to press down and keep it square. So I've stuck one. Get rid of that. Now I'm going to stick the other. Keeping it square. Right, so I've got that. You can see the box starting to form now. Then I'm going to put glue on these. So that's glue on the what is ostensibly the inside. So on here. And then close it and bring these up and try and make them as square as possible. Can you see? Got that folded over, and the same on this side. And then what you want to do is get your bone folder or a ruler or something like that. Just put it inside your box and just press down to make sure the glue's nice and firm. Your box isn't going to fall to bits. Right, so I've got a box shape. That's the inside of my envelope holder. You can see I've got an envelope in there and it goes in there nice and easily. Okay. Right, so put that to one side. We're going to work on the actual outer bit. So in here you should have some coloured card. You've all got different colours. We'll work on the coloured card first and then we'll worry about the pattern paper in a minute. So again, what you want to do is you want to fold all your score lines. I've scored it all for you. So fold it in, score. Oh, you like it, do you, Becca? Thank you. Fold that in. You've got that folded like that. Okay. Then this one, fold both the central score lines. Right. And so eventually that will go in there, like that. That will close up. It's a bit of a worry. Why is that a different size? I don't think I've cut mine exactly right. But I just cut a bit off that. I don't know how I've done that. Hope yours is all right. Right, so you've got your box. Then in your pack, you should have 3 pieces of DSP. Right, one piece is larger than the other. Put that to one side, that's for the front. Then these 2 smaller pieces are for the flaps. Actually, we should have stuck the flap on. It's because my box wasn't the right side. Right, you need to put glue along here. So glue along here. And then you're sticking that to the inside. So imagine that's folded up. You're sticking it on like this so that the line isn't on the outside, spoiling the outside of your box. Try and get it as aligned as possible. Not like that, Rosie. So aligned to the score line, but not over it, and aligned to the edges. Hold it up, fold it and make sure, and then just press it down. Okay. Right, so back to these small bits. You want to decide which small bit you want on the outside. Obviously, you want to look at your outside bit and see which one you would like. I've got this pattern and this pattern. Well, I prefer this pattern for my outside. So I'm going to have that on the outside. And on my outer lid, I think I like this pattern. Now, if it's got a directional pattern, as this has, be aware of that and make sure you've got the direction of the things going in the right way. So I'm putting that on the outside, and then on the inside flap, you see where I've cut my paper. I mean, I had limited paper. That's going along the wrong direction. So I'm going to choose this side for the inside. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on the outside first. So whatever paper you've chosen, remember I chose that. I don't think that would look so good. So I'm going to choose this. So you want to open up your box and you see that there's 2 score lines. Well, the lower line, you want to use your pencil and your ruler, and you want to measure 1 3/4 down from the second score line. So that's this line here. So 1 3/4 from there. I was going to do this for you, but I thought, no, I won't be so kind this week and this month. Let you do some work. So I've got 1 3/4 down there. Then I'm going to measure on the other side the same, 1 3/4. Sorry, I'm probably taking it out of shot, but I'm struggling with the ruler. And then 3 3/8 along the bottom, which is the centre. So I've got along the bottom, I'm going to measure 3 3/8. So that's just 2 notches below the half. Okay, so that's there. Then I'm going to join my line, my little mark from one edge to the centre. Like that. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So from the centre to my little mark. Inches, yes, inches, Lynn. I'm too old for centimetres. Way too old. So can you see I've got the beginnings of my flap. I've got a line there that goes down to a point and a line up there. So now I'm going to take scissors. It's probably best to do these with large scissors because you have to do less actual sort of cutting like that. So you tend to make a better job of it if you've got larger scissors. But if you've only got small scissors, don't worry, just take your time. So cut along there as straight as you can. So that bit's off. If you can see your pencil lines when you've cut, get your rubber out and just rub those off. So that's my, I've done that. I'm just going to get my rubber, give that a little bit of a rub. So I'm just going to rub the pencil lines just to make sure they don't show on my finished project. Right, so I'm going to have this one on my outside. So what I'm going to do is to make it easy to cut, I'm going to pull it down to the point. See, the point is exactly on the line, but I'm also going to make sure that, you know, my favourite word is equidistant here and here. Don't worry about here, just here and here. So this is where either clothes pegs, as I said in my message to you, or little mini bulldog clips, which I've got here, will help. So I'm just going to hold my paper with my mini bulldog clip like that. Again, check that your point is exactly on the bottom of the DSP. I'll hold it up for you. You see my point comes to exactly the bottom. Then what you're going to do is you're going to use your scissors again. Could you describe the numbers again? My plain paper was too big and I had to cut it. Sorry, Anne, which plain paper? The DSP? And which numbers do you need? SA. Not sure what SA means. The green for you. Ah, the green. So you want the numbers of where you've got to mark it with your ruler. Where to put pencil marks. Right, sorry, Anne. Right, sorry about that. Right, so you want to measure down 1 3/4 from the second score line. So do you see I've got 1, 2 score lines. So here, 1 3/4 there. And then on the bottom here, it's 3 3/8 in. So that's 1 3/4 down. Oh dear, I don't seem to have made a very good job of cutting the paper. I don't understand that. I need to cut the green paper, Lynn says. Can't measure till it's done. Need middle measurement. The outer paper. Right. So on the green card, it's 1 3/8 down and 3 3/8 in. And then the outer paper, Lynn, this paper, I haven't done any measurements. I've just stuck it on there with my bulldog clips. You need the middle measure. So Lynn, the middle measure of here is 3 3/8. You all right now? Is everybody all right? Sorry about that. I must have been having some sort of funny 5 minutes. Anne seems all right. You all right, Lynn? You just put a heart or thumbs up, or no, you're not all right. I'll move on, or not. Lynn? Mine's good. That's good, Becca. Lynn? Oh, good. I've gotten some thumbs up. Right, I'm going to carry on. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting along here, as I said before. Except that bulldog clip's going to get in my way, so I'm just going to move it slightly. So along here, following the line of the card carefully so you don't cut the card as well. Then I'm doing the same the other side. Okay, sorry about that, Lynn. Right, so I've cut the card of the GSP, taking the paper clips off, and I'm just going to move it up so that it's roughly equidistant. Can you see I've got a little gap at the top which sort of measures the sides and here. Okay, I'm going to stick that on with glue before I go any further. So glue all around this bit. If you get stuck, Lynn, I can always come round to your garden and help you. Right. You did say about coffee. Not that I drink coffee, but anything cold. Right. That's stuck on. Okay. So now you're going to do the same thing on the inside. One of mine looks steep in the other. No, I think it's an optical illusion. No, I have done it wrong. Cut mine incorrectly. Never mind. Right, other side. You're going to put your paper on and do exactly the same thing. You're going to measure, pull it down, get it to the point. So exactly the same as you did before. So keep it equidistant at the side, but measuring it to the point. Can you see I've got mine on the point? And then I'm going to use my clips again on here, like that, and like that. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. I'm going to cut along here. Okay, Lynn, I'll come round after I finish my video. The sun's out. Do I need to bring anything, Lynn, like my trimmer or Valium or anything? So I'm cutting along here. Be careful not to cut the card. And then taking my clips off. What I'm going to do is exactly as I did before, but before I do that, I'm going to put my magnets on. Do you remember the magnets I told you to keep safe? The ones I've lost on my desk. Right. So take these off. They're very, very strong, these. They're called earth magnets, and they're also quite brittle, so be careful. So you've got two together, and you can slide them apart in your hands. Now be careful when you put them back together. You haven't got the polarity opposed and they're forcing themselves apart. You want them to be like that, so together. So take your paper off and put your magnets probably about there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them on with glue dots. So you need some glue dots. So put one on a glue dot. Now if you haven't got any glue dots, you could put them on with double-sided tape, sellotape, something like that. And then to stick it on, oh, that's come off because I've got glue on my hand. Stick it on the other side. So you put a glue dot on this side. Okay, so you've got glue dot there. And then what you want to do is get your box that you made earlier, and you want to stick it in so that you've got somewhere to press against when you put your magnet down. So put glue along the bottom, Valium would be good. Have to have a look round for that then, Lynn. So I've got my glue on there, and then you want to put it between these two score lines. So that's the bottom of the box, not the flap end, the other end. So bottom of the box, and then keeping the gap the same either end and between the score lines. So keeping it as central as you can between the score lines and keeping the same gap either end of your box. Press down, let the glue set for a minute, and then you want to stick the sides on. So glue on the box, sides, this side. Quite liberal with the glue because you've got to take quite a bit of sticking. It's come off the bottom, don't worry about that. You can always put that back on. I just didn't let the glue go off enough. Right, side up, press, and then you can use your bone folder to do what you did earlier. Just press down, make sure it's stuck. Then you want to do the same on this side. So glue on here. And press that down. Turn it over and use your bone folder to press that down. Then we're back to the flap. See, I didn't stick that quite in the middle, but it doesn't matter. Right, I'm going to put a little bit of double-sided sellotape on mine just to hold it on a bit better. So I've got my double-sided tape here. Tear off a bit. Stick it over here. As I say, you can use sellotape, whatever. Oh, no, Rosie, don't stick it there because that's stuck. No. Take no notice of that bit. That's a blooper. Come on. Off you come. That's a blooper. Hopefully you didn't follow my blooper. Doesn't really matter that that's torn that because it's going to be hidden. Right, so I'm going to put that there and we're going to close it with the closure before we do that. I got a bit overexcited ahead of myself. So glue dot on there. And then close it down, trying to keep your box square. Press. And gently pull it up. Mine's going to come off because I've pulled it off. That's it. Then your magnet will be in the right place. So I'm just going to put a new glue dot on mine because I pulled it off. As I say, don't do what I did, do what I say. Right, I want to make sure that that shuts. Yeah, that's all right. Right, I'm going to put some double-sided tape on it now. So tape goes. Oh, so the outer green cover is supposed to be bigger than the box. Yes, it is. You don't want to cut any of the edges off. I can't tell you where your glue dots are, Becca. That's really funny. That's the sort of thing I do. As I say, you can use sellotape if you can't find your glue dots. It is better with glue dots. I don't want them to pull off. That's the thing. Right, so with the the tape, just take the back off. And then this one you cut out, you're just going to stick over the top of your magnet. Again, you want to leave equidistant space like that. It's a nice finish for your magnet. It covers it up. Yeah, the outer green box is bigger than the box. I did show you at the beginning of the video that this one I've already made, you can see that it's bigger. It doesn't go to the edge. I just thought I'd cut yours wrong, but I think it was just mine that I hadn't cut both edges correctly. But anyway, I'll come around and look at yours, Lynn. I think you should all be all right. Right, so I've stuck that on. And then I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to stick my front paper on. Right. There we are. So that's my front paper on. Again, turn it over. It's worth making the effort to make sure this is stuck on properly. And then you've got your box. I mean, it's up to you. You can decorate it if you want to. You don't have to. But, oh, it's not stuck very well, Rosie. Bit more glue on this bit. Okay. So that's the box. I'm going to tidy up before I start my next project. Give you all a chance to catch up. Also move some of this rubbish off my desk. I can't do anything with all this here. Put my glue dots away. Did you ever find yours, Becca? Missed that bit of the video at the beginning bit where I said that they were this bit where I showed you the box. So you can see that there is a bit of a lip there. Okay. Right, you all ready to move on? Your glamorous assistant, Becca, hid your glue dots. AK your lovely husband. Right. We're moving on to this project next. So this is a really good way of using up your DSP or your pattern paper. DSP just means designer series paper. Now you'll see on this card that it's not folded. All these bits are not the same. So you've got a smaller bit. It's designed like that. So this is the front. This is the next bit, the next page, and this is the inside. So you want it to fold like that. Don't put it up that way because it would be the wrong. That's wrong. So you want it this way with a big bit here and a little bit on your left. Right, Rosie. So you can see there's a gap there. Right, so having established that, we're going to work on the front. So in your pack, you've got some little bits that look like, well, they're grass, I think. So you've got two bits like that. You've got some dragonflies. I've just pulled one of my dragonflies out, and flower. Now these are quite delicate. You need to be careful with them because they will tear easily. And I'm just going to get my craft sheet out because I find it easier than gluing everything to my desk. You don't, if you've got a non-stick surface, it's good. If you haven't, don't worry. Right, so with your glue, you want to be really gentle and careful with it. Oh, that's good, Becky, you got your glue dots back. Right, so a little tiny bit of glue on here. You can see I'm just dabbing it, not going mad. You know, it's squeezing out everywhere. Dab it. Like that. All over. I mean, these glues are always easier when they've been going a while, but not when they're near empty. They've got a sort of premium point when they're at the best. So something like that. Then you want to take, there is one, two this size, and there is one much slimmer. So you want the wider of the ones, not the slim one. You want the wider one. Put that down and then arrange your flower however I'm going to have it. So it's there going off to the corner like that. Okay. you're going to get some overhang, but all we're going to do is we're just going to snip it off like that. Everybody still all right? Right, I'm going to carry on. So with your grasses, as I say, you've got 2 pieces of grass. I'm going to put the first larger piece on first, so covering up the stem. I'm going to do it like that. And I'm going to cut off, stick it down, and then I'm going to cut off this lump at the bottom. I don't want this lump. I don't know what this lump's for, but I think it's just to hold the grasses together, but I don't want that on my design. So I'm going to put glue on here. I possibly will go a little way into the bottom just to make sure that it's held down, and just cut it off. This is why I get glue all over my scissors. Right, so I've done that. I'm going to stick it on here. It's entirely up to you how you do it. I mean, this is just my design. So I've got it stuck like that. As I say, I've got that hanging over, so I'm just going to cut that off like that. Stick that down. And then put on the other piece of grass, probably a little distance away. There isn't a right and a wrong way. You can see on the, I don't know if you can see on the camera, there is a slight sort of indentation. It's been embossed on the right side, and that's the wrong side. It looks rougher on the wrong side. So you get a slight indentation on the front. So put that down. Again, little dots, blobs of glue. Like that. Just place it wherever you want. And again, cut this off. And then I've got this little dragonfly. It's really cute. You want to stick him somewhere, sort of like at a jaunty angle. Ooh, he's flown away. So dab some glue on him. And then put him there. So that's the front of my card finished. So I'm going to take one of my pieces of blue. Again, you've got 2 larger ones, 2 that size and 1 that size. So use one of the larger ones. I'm going to stick that on there. Like that. Keep it equidistant top and bottom. So you can see, and with the liquid glue, if it's not quite straight, you've got some room to manoeuvre. Then I'm going to stick that onto the front of my card. Now remember what I said, one side is smaller, so make sure you've got the front of your card. That's the front of my card. So I'm sticking that on. Like that. In the centre. So that's the front done. Make sure it's stuck down. Now I'm going to work on the next page. So I've got this flower here. So what you've got on this flower is you have 4 pieces. You've got the main piece for the stem, then you've got a slightly smaller flower, another smaller flower, and another smaller flower. So they're graduated in size. And what we're going to do is stick the flowers together. Sorry, I've jogged the camera. And then I'm going to stick it in the middle, like that. Okay? So I'm going to work on the flower. Actually, I might stick it down and then stick them on. I think that might be easier. Right, so again, exactly the same principle as the front. A little bit of glue here. Like that. And then just a little bit down the stem. Put it on there. You love a jaunty angle, do you, Becca? Well, every time I don't stick something on straight, which is a lot, I call it a jaunty angle. Right, so stuck that down. Again, I've got it hanging over the edge, so I'm just going to snip that off. Yeah, you're using the same size white as previously, and you've got one smaller piece for the inside. That's right, Becca. Right, so with these, you want the next size down. You're just going to stick it so that the middle petals go in between the petals on the big one. So you're sticking it offset. Like that. Okay, so that's offset that. I'm not going to bother, I did a previous card with you, some of you, and we actually used bone folders to give the flower dimension, but I'm not going to bother with this time because we put it on the inside, and I feel that any dimension the flower had probably gets squashed by the front cover of the card. So we're just building it up. So again, you put the next one on and you offset that. So if you can see, I've offset that. Ooh, glue's not dry on there. So I'm building up the flower. I mean, you're getting quite a flower effect anyway by the layers of flower. Then lastly, this little tiny one is the flower on the other side. Its flower is, this is the front, Leslie, and then the flower will be stuck on the blue in here. Is that what you mean? Like that. Yeah, the flower's on the other wide bit of card, not the slim bit. You've got a slim bit as well. That's for the inside, not the slim bit. The wide bit, the same as the front, Leslie. Didn't quite understand what you meant, but I think I know what you mean now. Right, so sticking the middle in, offsetting again. Right, and then in your pack you should have some leaves. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these so that they're angled and they join the stem. So I want to show you what I mean. You see, I'm going to stick that, I position the leaf where I want it, but I want it to be against the stem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my gluey scissors, and I'm just going to cut up here using the stem as a sort of guide. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, so that it's going to be at an angle. So I've got my stem, my leaf at an angle. Can you see what I mean? And then I'm going to do the same with the other leaf. I'm going to put mine probably down here. And again, I'm going to use my stem as a guide. So, as I say, it doesn't have to be perfect. Don't worry about it. So, got that. So all you need to do now is stick them down. So again, yeah, the other wide piece, Leslie. Hopefully you're all right. I watched videos by another demo who uses tweezers so she doesn't get gluey, but I've tried tweezers. I just get in such a muddle with them. I don't know why. But it would be a good idea to use tweezers because, like I say, you don't get glue everywhere. I end up with glue stuck all over me. I'm either covered in glue or I'm covered in ink, or both. And yesterday we went to buy a new car, and I was buying a bottle of squash for a friend who's going into hospital. I'd written squash on my thumb here, and my mother used to tell me off when I did that. Oh, poison yourself with ink, dear. Anyway, I wrote squash here so I'd remind myself. I was sitting there talking to the salesman, and all I could see was this great big squash written here. Never mind. Sure, he wasn't interested what was on my hand. I was more interested in selling me a car. Right, in your pack, you should have a little centre. These are really nice. They're epoxy embellishments. So it's got backing, sticky back. So just peel it off, pop it in the centre, and that's your flower finished. So you're doing exactly the same as you did for the front, getting a larger piece of blue, not the slim piece. And you're going to place your card on here, equidistant again, stick it down. Like that. Make sure it's stuck nice and firmly. And then you're going to stick it inside here. I think this has made quite a dramatic card. You know, I love the single colour on the pattern background. It's got no sentiment on it, so it could be used for all manner of things. I know Lynn's not keen on putting sentiments on until she posts them. I find that difficult because I need to know when I'm designing a card where I want to sort of put it and what it's going to say, but it's a good idea. And then you've got these slimmer pieces, which I told you not to use previously. These are what you're going to use now. You should have a little tiny bit of DSP that I cut just to decorate that. If you don't have that, it's not the end of the world, but it should be in your pack. As you can imagine, cutting out these pieces took quite a while. Right. That's why if you like to do my classes, I do need to know quite in advance what you need, and particularly as my life is about to get really complicated, so I need, you know, to use my time quite efficiently. Need to do a time study for myself. Right, this one's going in the middle. This would be where you write your sentiment or your message, sorry, to whosoever you're going to send it to. So just again, you're going to cover that with glue. Put it in the middle. I'm just holding the side up so I can see, because it's quite a heavily patterned paper. I want to see where I'm putting it, you know, whether it's in the middle. Right. So that's my card finished. Make sure it's stuck again. And in your pack, you probably, I think I got a piece of designer series paper for your envelope. So you can choose which side. I think I might choose that side. I quite like that side. Then to do your envelope, all you need to do is to put glue on the flap when it's shut. Don't put it too near the edge because it'll squeeze out and may cause a problem with shutting your envelope. Stick your paper on, so keep it flush with the top of the envelope, like that. Doesn't matter if it goes over the side or over the flap because you're going to cut around it. So press it down, make sure it's covered, glued on. Then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut round the flap of the envelope so that you're making a covered flap. We're always taught never to send a naked envelope. I always think it's quite cheery for the postman as well. There. So that's my envelope finished. I've got, oh dear, put it in something dirty. Let's see if I can rub that out. Nope, that's not going to rub out. Don't know what that was. And I have some leftover dragonflies, so I'm just going to put one there. While you're all catching up and whatever, I'm going to sort my desk out. I'm going to get my glue rubber out and see if I can get that patch off with that. I'm just going to tidy up. Are you all right? Get that off. So let's try my glue rubber. No, try the ink rubber. These ink rubbers are good, but if you go too mad, it takes the surface of the paper off. It's made it less anyway. So that's my card and my envelope finished. Pop it in here before I make it more dirty. Oh no, I'm going to pop it in my box I made. Here's a box I made earlier. So put my card in there. Fits in there lovely. Make a lovely gift for somebody, that box. Right, tidy up a bit. And we'll move on to the next project. So, next project is using snail mail. I love this DSP. It is retiring soon, but we're going to make this card. I love his googly eyes. In your packs, you've got some googly eyes, and you've got one inside, and you should have a little heart to put on there. You want to work on the grey bit first. So this bit is the bit you need first. What I suggest you do is get all your bits and pieces of DSP out and lay them on the card and just try and visualise where you're going to stick them. Be aware that these are directional DSP, so you don't want to do that because then the box is upside down. So make sure your direction is going the right way. Right, so I've got that there and that there. Okay, so you can see I've got here, if I stick this on with that sort of gap there, and then I can keep that in line like that and stick it on with a similar gap there. So I want to come over very slightly. So if we stick those down, so glue on the back. I mean, with these DSPs, there's usually, or designer series paper, there's usually a side that I really, really like and a side that I don't like. So it doesn't come to, it's not too much of a challenge when I want to put glue on it. Although sometimes there are two sides that I like. This one, I didn't like that side, so I don't have a problem with putting glue on there. This one, I loved that side with a little snail. I'm going to cut him off. But you can't have both sides, obviously. Although I did do a card where both sides of the DSP showed, and that last card we made, I suppose, yeah, both sides do show. So again, try and keep it straight down the side and the similar distance. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side. Try and use your eye to just keep it straight across here. And similar distance here and here. You're all very quiet. I hope you haven't all gone and I'm talking to myself. I think my camera's still on. I'm just going to check that it's still recording. Yeah, still recording. That's good. Right, and this one goes here. Again, try and keep it so it's level with that one and the same distance, and obviously level with that one. With the liquid glue, you do get a chance to sort of slide it around, which is good. Then the blue one is in the middle. Again, I have to cover up the little people, you know, snails that I like. Doesn't matter which way up this one goes, because I don't think this is a particularly directional pattern. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone down so low there, but blind man on a galloping horse. Right. With these, you just want to sandwich all your circles together. So the yellow onto the grey. Like that. The white onto the yellow. Tongue out working where to put your papers. You are funny, Becca. You've decided now. Yeah, it is. Sometimes it's really difficult, isn't it? You know, you can follow my design, or you might like something different or better. I was doing a class with another demo, and it was exactly the same. She'd done hers in a specific way, and I decided that I'd go against the grain and do my own thing. And it spent ages. And by the time I'd chosen where to put the papers, she'd moved on to the next thing. Right, and then you stick the little snail on the top. He's so cute. While you're doing that, I'm just going to go and find some eyeballs. Right, I stuck the grey circle onto the card using dimensionals. Now, if you don't have any dimensionals, don't worry. You can use glue. I just wanted to give it a dimension, but it really doesn't matter. And if you don't add dimension, pardon me, sometimes it's better because it doesn't cost so much in the post. I make these really elaborate cards and then go to post them and find that it's large letter, which really irritates me. I don't know who decided on this stupid system. Right, so I've got my dimensionals on the back. I'm going to stick that in the middle. So taking the dimensions off. I saw a great tip for dimensionals. Just show you this tip. If you've got a new sheet of dimensionals like that, if you use a black pen and you draw on your dimensionals, so you draw along them like that, just keep drawing lines like that all across the whole pad. I thought, how cool was this? Yeah, so simple, yet so effective. And then when you've got your dimensionals and you've stuck them on your project, so I'll take one off and put it on, what shall I put it on? Piece of rubbish out the bin. So I've got this piece of rubbish, just stick that on there. See, you can see where that I haven't taken the backing off, because when you take that off, it's gone. I thought that's really good, especially when you're using a lot of dimensionals. So put those back in. Right, so I'm going to stick this onto my card base. Like that. Keep it equidistant. Making sure it's stuck. And I'm going to do my inside, my little snail. I'm going to stick him there. He's cute too. I know a couple of you have ordered the stamp set and the dies. The dies do cut out the, if you have the DSP, they do cut out this snail and this snail. Right, I'm going to stick that down. Again, if you want to post this, you probably don't want to do this next stage or stages. I'm going to stick a little heart, one of these resin hearts which come with the snail suite. These are really cute. You can see I've used loads. So I'm using my take a pick tool just to get the heart, and I'm going to cover this heart over on the snail with this little resin heart. take a pick tool's brilliant. You can just keep moving it around to get it where you want. So that's that. It doesn't really stop it closing too badly. And then I'm going to use some eyeballs. So obviously this project I want small eyeballs, so they're all going to tip out and they're going to be too big. It's always the way, isn't it? Right, there's 2 eyeballs. Put those back. He's looking at you. Right, those are the eyeballs. Then I'm going to stick those on with glue dots. Use my take a pick tool just to get a glue dot off the reel. This is another great tip. If you've got glue dots, if you tie a piece of ribbon round, it keeps the outer paper on the glue dots and it stops it coming unravelled. When it comes unravelled, it's A, a mess, and B, it can waste your glue dots. Right, so I'm putting a glue dot on the back of the eyeball, sticking it over the eyeball on the cutout piece. No, the eyes don't have a backing, Leslie. You've got to use glue dots, or you can use your Tombow. Look at that. You can use your Tombow. No backing on the glue dots. The eyes. The eyes aren't Stampin' Up! Eyes, they're just some cheeky eyes I bought. The trouble is you have to buy a pack to get the size you want, and then you've got all these huge eyeballs. So I can't imagine what I'm going to use eyeballs that big for. Right. So that's the card finished. Whilst you're catching up, I'm just going to tidy up my card. Put these away. Right, the last card is a mail card. Polly asked me specifically for a mail card. So this is the card that we're going to make. I mean, you could use this for birthday or just to say hello, thinking of you, whatever. So I've embossed the this layer with an embossing folder and cut these out with the World dies. Got something stuck on there. So in your pack you should have a card base in AliExpresso. Gotta get that off there, something stuck on my and you're going to stick your embossed layer. Now there's 2 sides, one's embossed and one's debossed. I prefer the embossed side, but you're entirely, yeah, you can choose which side you want. I don't think I've cut that quite short enough. Yeah, I didn't cut that quite short enough. I think yours are all right. I just had to make this at the last minute, but it should be 5.5 in length. So I'm going to stick that on there in the middle. Show the inside again, please. Inside of the snail one, Lynn. This one. Like that. Is that what you wanted to see, Lynn? The little snail sitting in the corner. Is that what you wanted, Lynn? The inside? Yep. Okay, well, that's what it was. Just stick it in the corner and stick the little resin heart on the envelope. Oh, Hilary. Put that in there. Oh, go in there. Right, so back to this. Stick this to your base card like that. And then you want to stick a piece of designer series paper to your card. You've got wider pieces than me because this is all I had left after I packed up the kits. So I'm going to cut mine. Let's see what 5 1/4 is. No, I think I want it shorter than that. I'm going to make it 5. Yours are already cut for you, but these are just offcuts I had. Yeah, I'm going to have it like that. So I'll stick that down next. I love this designer series paper. I haven't really got any left now. I mean, after I did, obviously I've done other projects, but also after I did your kits, there was none left. But it is very male paper, I think. You know, it's got the grid like graph paper and these lovely golden globes. Then we're going to use these. So I've got a piece of Bumblebee and a piece of what's that? Vanilla, which I've cut miles too small for my. I don't know what I was thinking about, but let's see if that'll work. Yeah, that'll be all right. So stick these two together. Again, yours will be the right size. I'm just, you know, because I cut this in a rush at the last minute, I've left myself with a silly size. And stick that bit onto there. I'm leaving this wider than the top and the bottom, but in the middle. Again, I'm keeping this quite a flat card, make ease of posting. Stick it on straight, Rosie. That's it. Then you want to work out where this is going and your golden globe. Now you may have little bits stuck in yours, so you just want to poke those out with a pokey tool or the end of your scissors, something like that. When you've cut, you know, 9 of these, you're sort of starting to lose the plot and you don't want to poke them all out, so I left that for you. Then I agonised which way up the world went. I think it goes up that way. So I'm going to eyeball where I think, you know, I want my base to be. So it's going to be something like that. I'm going to cover this globe with some glue. I wasn't any good at geography. I think the reason I wasn't any good at geography in my own defence, although Roger always has a go at me about this, is when I was at school, we just spent hours and hours and hours colouring in the coastline with different colours, pencils. We never actually learnt anything. I remember my geography teacher, Mr. Waller, he was as mad as a frog, he was. Weird man. But I spent far too long. So I'm eyeballing where this is going. So I'm going to take that away, stick that down like that. Try not to get glue on the gold bit because it does show up. And then press that down, make sure that's stuck. Then I'm going to stick that so that the stand is resting against the globe. Can you see? It's sort of encompassing the globe. You can imagine it spinning in there. So I'm just going to dab some glue on this, being careful because it's not very wide. Come on, glue. In your own time. Right. Don't want to put too much on and mess up the globe. Right, so I've got some glue on there. Bringing in my card and making sure that the bottom of that is against the globe, like that. Press it down. That's the front of my card done. Again, I've obviously got something sticky and horrible on my mat. I need to wash it. Got it off with a rubber. And then I've got my envelope here. bit inside here. Again, I think that's the way up the world goes. Turn that over, just dab some of that on there. Stick that down, give it a press, and stick that inside there. I didn't include any DSP for you to do anything with the outside of the envelope. Oh, you had the nice honeybee. Yes, that does double up though, Becca. Oh, it's a lovely paper. Just a shame I haven't got any left. I couldn't give you any to decorate the outside of the envelope because this is literally probably the last bit I've got, but I'm going to stick it on my envelope just because I've got it here and I don't want to waste it. So that's that bit. Stick that on there. Ooh. Right. Yeah, making a mess here. Too gluey. Don't know where my glue rubber is. It's better. Right, so that's my finished card. I'm going to put that in my little box too. Productive day. I've got myself some cards. Obviously my square one's not going to go in there. No, won't go in there. Too tall. So I've finished my cards for today and my projects. There's just something else I want to do now before you all go. Just tidy up my desk a little. As we're coming out of lockdown and it's such a beautiful day, I thought I'd cheer us all up and we'd have a raffle today as a special treat. So we're going to raffle this stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set. It's got some lovely sayings on it. Hope you feel better really soon. For you, heartfelt thanks for everything. I'm sorry. Oh baby, you've already loved more than you know. You make my heart happy. How lovely is that? You make my heart happy. So I'm going to make your hearts happy. And we're going to have a raffle. So I didn't send out raffle tickets. I thought I'd just put all your names in this pot. Well, this not pot. This lovely mug that my friend made me. Look, she even put a green bow on it. It does need washing out for a little while. It's so cute. Becca would love this. I made Becca and her husband, I think her husband's name's Matt, a couple of mugs of their wedding present. My friend made me this. Right, so I'm going to put my hand in here and pull one out. So, Becca! Oh, I hope you haven't got this set, Becca. I'll post it to you. So Becca's won the punch party. I just want to say thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you all again in May. If you'd like to do my May class, I've already got, let me have a look. May, I've got Lynn, Hilary, Polly, Leslie, Lynn G, Katie, Jenny H and Jenny C. If you would like to join my May class and your name hasn't been read out, could you let me know, please? Because I need to make up the kits. And as I say, time is getting really tight now for me. It's been lovely to have you all today. I hope you enjoy the rest of this really sunny day. Bye.